Stay tuned for urban legends to ghostly tales of the paranormal, because now it's time for
Message on the Wall.
Message on the Wall brings you the Phantom Hitch-Hiker. Undoubtedly the most popular of the urban legends are the stories of phantom hitchhikers. There are countless variations, all on the same theme, the following being one version. It was one dark Saturday night, the moon no more than a sliver in the cloud-covered sky, making the road darker than usual. A young man travelling home alone wended his way along the unlit, deserted road. But then he glimpsed a figure, the white dress of a young girl standing out in the beam of his headlights. Once closer, the young man could see the girl was no more than 16 years old, standing there by the roadside in just a white party dress, shivering from the cold. He knew he couldn't leave her there. Pulling over, he asked the girl where she was going, and she gave an address that wasn't much out of his way. He was even nonchalant enough to offer her his jacket to keep her warm, and with her getting into the back seat, the young man set off once again. The girl was very quiet, and after a few moments' silence, the young man asked what she was doing on her own, on such a lonely road, miles from nowhere. When she didn't reply, he thought she had fallen asleep, and so concentrated on the road. It was half an hour later that he pulled up at the house to the address the girl had given. Turning to look in the back seat to let the girl know they had arrived, he found there was no one there. The girl had simply vanished. The young man was puzzled, but got from the car and went to the door of the house. Ringing the doorbell, an elderly woman answered, and the young man told her of having picked up a young girl, and how, giving him that address, he had just found she had disappeared. The woman listened with a sympathetic expression. When he had finished his story, she gently told him that the young girl was her daughter, but that she had died over 10 years earlier. Going to a party one Saturday night, the road was dark with no moonlight when she was hit by a car at the very spot where the young man had picked her up. Since then, others like the young man had come to her door with the same story. Realizing the girl had been a ghost, sent a shiver down the young man's spine, but told the elderly woman he was sorry for her loss. Making his way back to the car, he shivered once again, this time from the cold night air, looking for his jacket. It wasn't in the car, and then he remembered he had given it to the girl. Not being able to get the girl from his mind, the next day the young man went to the cemetery in the hope of finding her grave, and find it he did. For what he saw first was his jacket, neatly folded and placed over her headstone. You have been listening to Message on the Wall, brought to you in association with Paranormal Parodies. You can find Paranormal Parodies at paranormal-parodies.com.